Hello there, Wolf here. So today's video is a bit more off the cuff than the one other video I've ever made. Because normally when I attempt to do this sort of content, it's scripted, but today I'm doing it off the cuff to completely stop myself from holding myself back and to talk about this awesome experience I want to share. So, for those who aren't aware, which I assume is probably very few of you watching this video, the first episode of the third season of ReZero was premiered early at Anime Expo in LA, very recently. And I was lucky enough to be able to be there to watch the episode early with a friend and my girlfriend. So I thought I'd talk a bit about my experiences at AX and just the episode in general and how amazing it was, and just let people know, because everyone needs to know the good word about ReZero, you know? Without further ado, let's get into this. I guess a bit of background is in order before I get into the main discussion points. So if this stuff doesn't interest you at all, you're very welcome to skip ahead when I actually talk about the episode itself. But for anyone interested, I've been making ReZero content for over 3 years now. It has been that long, yes. I started out by doing the ReZero podcast on my good friend C Tactics YouTube channel way back when that was still a thing on his channel. The spiritual successor to that podcast today now runs on the Studio Reverie channel, which I'll link in the description. And if you do not know, we do on the channel basically audiobook versions of the license-free web novel of ReZero. If you're an anime only, we actually do cover content that will be coming up in season 3. So if you cannot wait for the anime, please feel free to watch it. Trust me, it's very good. But suffice to say, I think it's pretty obvious to tell. ReZero means a lot to me. I've worked a lot creatively in ways aligned with it for a very long time now, and as a series, it's probably my favourite piece of fiction ever, from a writing standpoint and from my own personal tastes and what it means to me. It's a story I hold very dearly, and when I got the very, very sudden ability to go to LA to watch this episode early, I was very excited. So my friend Palazard, Connor, he's one of the co-hosts on the podcast from Studio Reverie, he managed to set up, along with my girlfriend, this trip to LA very, very off the cuff and quickly, just before Anime Expo in LA started this year, 2024. And because of that amazing opportunity, I was able to go to Anime Expo, which is, I've been to some smaller conventions in Ottawa, but I've never been to like a very big known convention where a lot of people go. And can I just say, it was an amazing experience. I met so many amazing people. I had so much fun. There were so many amazing cosplays and really cool stuff and merch. Just it was wonderful. If you ever have the ability or funds to, and you're on the fence about it, either due to social anxiety or other stuff, I completely get it. I struggle with that too, but it's worth it. Trust me. If that's what's holding you back, don't let it next time, because it was a blast. Of which I will also, throughout this video, be showing you pictures of me and my friends' cosplays and all the wonderful people we met, and just some really cool stuff. But yeah, it was a really cool experience. My first time in America, actually, and also from that, my first time in LA. A very different experience for me as someone that's grown up in a smaller town. But the episode itself, the stuff, the meat and bones you're really here for, it was amazing. It was genuinely 90 minutes. Yes, this episode is 90 minutes long. The first episode is 90 minutes long. A specific creative decision from the director of the season, by the way, who we actually got to see talk on the panel afterwards, and I've actually got a photo with, believe it or not. It was amazing. 90 perfect minutes of ReZero. There's a new art style now, which is kind of, in a way, a blend between season 1 and season 2, and a bit of the light novel art style too. It's a weird combination of the three, but it's also its own thing. It very much stands out. And everyone's facial features are a little bit softer, but stuff is more defined. Characters, I feel, at least in my opinion, look a lot better. Some character designs have been improved. And in general, the animation quality is amazing. I would say the best the series has had yet. Genuinely. It was visually spectacular. The sound design, which is always amazing in ReZero, stood out even more in this episode. The specific moments that I won't talk about in this general overview of the episode. If you want a spoiler review of the episode, please let me know in the comments. And if you're interested, I'll definitely make it. But there's specific moments throughout the episode where the sound design really shines, and it's just amazing. The new OSTs, along with the old, still stand out as always. There's some very specific tracks that are going to invoke a lot of emotions in a lot of people, like they did for me. They made me tear up a bit, I won't lie. The voice acting, especially for some of the newer characters introduced in this season, is bloody phenomenal. And oh my god, it was an experience. Like, I never thought, even with this happening and it being announced as kind of like late before the con as it was, this is one of the most amazing experiences of my life. Seeing this episode in person with the people I care about and having that ability to be able to see this episode 3 months before it's officially released. It was wonderful. In general, I honestly, apart from some tiny nitpicks that aren't really significant, this episode was genuinely one of the best ReZero episodes. And also, I would say, a real love letter to ReZero fans in general. As I mentioned earlier, there was a panel after the episode was shown in which some cast members and some creative staff behind the project were interviewed and kind of discussed stuff. Yusuke Kobayashi was there, for instance, Subaru's voice actor, an absolute inspiration for me personally as someone who also voices Subaru in my own fan project. There was also the voice actor for Garfield there. There was one of the producers of the show, which I wasn't expecting, but it was actually kind of cool. And the director was there, and also the character designer. And they all do amazing work, and they're very passionate. And they very much expressed, especially to us at the audience there, that this is a love letter from them. They love ReZero, they love this project. This is a passion project for them. And they were just really happy they got to show this project early and see how much enthusiasm the fans had for it. Because the majority of people there were from the West, and I think this is starting to change slightly, but a lot of Japanese companies and Japanese mindset kind of feels a bit isolated and doesn't really, see that international scope with a lot of, fandom or big series, especially with anime, manga, light novels in general. But I think that attitude is starting to change slightly. Everyone there was really excited to see how excited the audience was for the episode. We cheered. I started a couple huge cheers myself, incidentally, which was quite funny. There was a really cool giveaway at the end for signed copies of the manga. The lovely girl who actually won it, I actually met afterwards, and she was really cool. But yeah, it was a really awesome experience, and I'm just so glad I got to do it. If you guys have any non-spoiler questions about it in the comments, please feel free to ask. I would love to hear them. If you want to see a spoiler review of the episode from me, ask, and if I see enough interest for it, I'll definitely make one. In regards to that overall thoughts on the episode, amazing, peak fiction, so fucking good. If you are an anime only and you're experiencing this part of the story for the first time, hell, even if you're a reader, this, in my opinion, is going to be the definitive way to experience this arc. It's going to be visually stunning, some epic fights, some really emotional stuff. You're going to see a side to ReZero you haven't really seen before yet, or at least not to its full form. And I'm really excited for a wider audience to see that. So if you're anime onlys and you happen to be watching this video, let me know how hyped you are, because you should be hyped. This episode was one of the best yet from ReZero. Fucking peak fiction, baby. Sorry if this video is a bit discombobulated and not too orderly. I normally do my videos scripted, but this is, again, as I mentioned earlier, completely off the cuff. I just wanted to get some of my feelings off the chest about this. In general, this trip meant a lot to me. I got to meet a really close friend that I'd met online at Palazar Connor for the first time in person, and we got to watch that episode together along with my girlfriend Kyle's. It meant a lot. It was really, really wonderful and so much fun. But emotional stuff aside, please be hyped. Let yourself be hyped. Don't let yourself be disappointed because you put your expectations too low, in that sense of oh, now I'm not getting hyped for it, so now I'm going to lose momentum with it. Get hyped. This is fucking good. It was amazing. You should be excited. But yeah, I guess with that, this is going to be my ramble video over. I hope you all have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are, and let me know what you think in the comments. Goodbye!